Hi, fourth graders. Today you should be watching this lesson on Friday, April 24th. It is, let me get my stuff situated here. We are 2 days away from our test. You have a review day today. You have a review day on Monday. Okay, 2 days away. And then on Tuesday will be your test. So today you should be on the page that says Chapter 17, Extra Practice, page 476, number 10. This is your review, and if you remember when you were in my class on review days, I didn't do any of the review with you. It was all you independently on your own because this is getting you set up for a test. I will do a few in each category with you today just so that you know kind of where we're going with this. But this you're going to mainly do on your own. And then I have no IXLs assigned for you. You can do any IXL you want in the T section, and I will write that down for you at the end of this as well, okay? So again, review day today, review day on Monday. You have a test on Tuesday, the 28th. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be getting some models, some pictures here, either of money, of base 10 blocks, or of a number line. And your job is to write each of these as a fraction and also as a decimal. Okay, so like for this one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 shaded out of 10 total. So I would have 4 over 10 as my fraction, or I would have 0.4 as my decimal because we know the 10th spot is the first spot right after the decimal, okay? Here's money. Whenever we talk about money with fractions, it's always over 100, okay? So how many cents do you see here? 10, 20, 1. And then how do we write that as a decimal? We know that how we write money is the exact same way that we write it as a decimal, except for we just don't need the number sign if we're writing it just as the decimal. Okay, and then here you have a number line. You can do this one on your own. Here you have a fraction, and you need to write it as a decimal. Okay, so this one is 9/10, so I would have 0.9. This is 17/100, so I would have 0.17. Remember, your number needs to end in the place value that the denominator says or that the words say. So does my 9 end in the 10th spot? Yes. Does my 17, the last digit 7, end in the 100th spot? 10ths, 100ths? Yes. Okay. Here you need to write the amount as a fraction, a decimal, and then as money. And remember, how you write it as a decimal is the same way that you write it with money. How you write it as money is the same how you write it with the decimal. You just take away the money sign when you write it as a decimal. So we have to do a fraction first. So remember, whenever you're doing the fraction, all of this will be out of 100, okay? Because we want fraction first, decimal, or what do they want first? 3, 2, 1. Oh, I see. So you write it like this. Hello. Okay, I was getting confused for a second. Okay, so 3/4 as a fraction, 25, 50, 75. 75 over 100. All of our fractions when it comes to money will be over 100. Okay. Now, how do I write that as a decimal? 75 cents. But don't put the dollar sign. If they're just asking for the decimal, think of it as writing it as money, but don't put the dollar sign. 0.75. And now as money, dollar sign 0.75. I don't want any of this 75 cents, the cents sign. We're not going to do it like that. Okay. 2 dimes and 2 pennies. Okay. So 2 dimes is 20 cents. 2 pennies is 2 cents. So 22 cents. 22 over 100 would be how I do it as a fraction. 0.22 for a decimal, and then dollar sign 0.22 for 22 cents. You can do this one on your own. Okay. This one, you need to write each decimal as a fraction. Okay. So we have to check to see where our last digit falls. What place value? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So I know my bottom number has to be 1,000. And then I just write my top number, 236. Okay. This one will be very similar to this one. Let's look at this one over here. Where does my 1 end? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. My bottom number has to be 1,000. What's the digit up here? Just a 1. Okay, you do these by yourself. This worksheet, this even though it says extra practice on here, it's not optional. This is your assignment for today. You have to do this. Okay, but you're just doing it on your own rather than me talking through everything with you. Okay, here you're going to write everything as a decimal now, so you're going back and forth. So 7 thousandths, always start with 0 dot, and now my 7 has to end in the thousandths place. So I have to shove a bunch of zeros in front of the 7 in order to push it into the thousandths place. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. 377 thousandths, 0.377, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Okay, you need to do these on your own. Be careful with these. You need to squeeze something in front of this 2 and in front of this 3 to shove it into the thousandths place. Okay. Set C, it says write an equivalent mixed number and a decimal for each model. Okay, so you're going to see how many are shaded, and then what is the fraction of the last one that's only partially shaded. Okay, so you write it first as a mixed number. So that's like a fraction. And then we write it as a decimal. Okay, so how many of these, I see 2 big blocks here. How many of these are shaded all together? The whole thing is shaded. This one, there's only 1. Okay, so 1 is going to be my whole number for my fraction. Now, how many parts are shaded over here? 1, 2, 3 out of, I know this is 10. We've been working with these when it looks like this. This is out of tenths. So this would be 1 and 3 tenths. And then how I would write that as a decimal is 1 and, remember when I said and a couple lessons ago, whenever you see the and, it's the decimal point, it's the dot, okay? 1 and 3 tenths. Tenths is the first place right after the decimal, so my 3 goes there. How many of these boxes are shaded all together? 1. And then how many are shaded over here out of, this would be 100 because they're all these little squares. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 77 hundredths, 1 and 77 hundredths. You do this one on your own. Okay. Here we're doing comparing. So again, just think of this as money, you guys. Always think of it as money. It's going to be so much easier for you. What's bigger, $2.05? Or remember, whenever we have just a point right here, we know that we can also put this 0 here. So this is like saying $2.50. So which one's bigger, $2.05 or $2.50? $2.50. Okay. What's bigger here, $65.99 or $66? $66. Okay. Look at this one. What can I do right here? What are these actually going to be? Okay, do these 2 on your own. Here you order from least to greatest. Picture money, you guys. Just look at this all as money. Okay, do these on your own. Picture it all as money. Even though these don't have dollar signs, think of it as money. Okay. Flip it over. The back side isn't much. It's literally only this much. Okay. 8 is a word problem. You can do this one by yourself. You're ordering these insects from greatest to least. Morris runs 2.25 miles every day. So write this as a mixed number. Write this as a fraction. 2 and 25, and it falls in the hundredths place. So 2 and 25 hundredths. Okay. And then here your job, they have it either as a mixed number fraction or as a decimal. Your job is to just write the opposite. So if it's already a fraction, you write the decimal. If it's already a decimal, you write the fraction, and then we write it in word form. So I'll do these first 2 with you. Then you need to do the other ones on your own. So 2 and 9 tenths. So 2 and 9 is my number, but it needs to fall in the tenths place. I know the tenths place is right after the decimal, so 2.9. And I write 2 and 9 tenths, just like that. 3.17 or 3 and 17 hundredths, because my 7 falls in the tenths, hundredths place. So 3 and 17 hundredths. 3 and 17. Whoa, 2 E's and 17. It's 100 with a th at the end. Okay? That's how you do all of these. Okay? Your IXLs for today. You can do anything in the T section. $280. Pick one, pick 3, I don't care. But you have to do at least one, all the way to 80. If there's one that maybe you missed or you didn't do because you didn't go to school that day because you were gone, or I don't know, whatever. If there's one that you missed that I've already assigned, do that one. But if you've done all of the ones that I've assigned, then just go into the T section and pick any one to work on. I would not suggest hopping around to a whole bunch of them. Pick one and work on it all the way to 80. I'm not going to really go through any IXLs right now with you because all of you are going to pick a different one. So I can't really go through an IXL with you. Okay. So your job is to finish the rest of this page. Everything that I didn't do with you, you must do. Work with integrity, okay? Do as I ask you, and do this entire rest of the page. I already have done about half of it with you, so it shouldn't take you long to do the other half, okay? Do the back side. You only have this problem up here and then the rest of these, and then you need to pick one IXL, anything in the T section, to 80. If you have questions, you know where to find me. But let's work with integrity and make sure that we are doing what I ask and that you're not just like, oh, well, no one's watching me, so I don't have to do my homework. That's not how this works. We're still in school. Okay. The average on your last math tests was a 16 out of 22, which was a C minus. That's not that great. I want our class average to be higher than that. When I say class average, that means that's what the majority of students got in our class was a 16 out of 22, which is a C minus. Okay. I'm putting in the effort to make all of these lesson videos for you so you can learn. Your job is to now do as I ask. Your grades still count. We're still taking test scores. We're still taking IXL scores. You're still getting grades at the end of this. Okay. Work with integrity, get your work done, and you know where to find me if you need help. Okay?